How do you deal with an overly friendly neighbor who asks too many questions about your life when you happen to be outdoors at the same time? You ever been in a storm? Wow. The responses. Some good soon are clearly trying to be funny, but some are disturbing. Look, it is important to be on good, if not friendly terms with your neighbors. You will have them in your life for a long time whether you like it or not. The responses that recommend short, vague answers where you follow up with questions of your own are the best. You may very well discover a new friend, or you may both realize you don't click and you will naturally not take it any further. But you will be left with a neighbor that is at least on good terms. Remember, they may be the person to notice you being robbed when you are not home, or notice the smoke from a fire first, or be accepting of the noise from a large party you decide to throw. There could be a lot of reasons they are talkative, and not all of them are them just being nosy or a dick. They could be genuinely interested, lonely, had a bad neighbor in that house previously, etc. to name a few. If you're not very open to chat, just keep things polite yet quick. It's nice to have a good relationship with your neighbors. If they do delve into personal questions, just say, that's a bit personal, I'd rather not talk about that. Most important thing is to be polite. Don't be an asshole, or act standoffish when it's not necessary. Honestly, just use some common sense. Don't be a Redditor, is all I'm saying. I had an old neighbor like this once. It was back when I lived in a small conservative town in the US Midwest, still pretty freshly married, and also freshly out my own with my wife. Anyway, my wife and I would always be sitting on the front porch of the place we lived, upper/lower style duplex. We both worked a lot. Seeing as how we were working minimum wage jobs at the time, we had to work a lot so we could pay bills and eat, and put some money back. So the little time we had to relax and unwind together was pretty precious to us. Still is TBH. So a few months pass of us living at this place, and one day this very tall, very bald, black man just walked up onto the porch while we're sitting there relaxing. We've had a pretty good amount of sketchy people see us on the porch and either ask us to bum smokes, or if they can have some loose change, or if we know where to get any good drugs . I only mention his race because this is very conservative town in the pretty rural Midwest. We kinda look at each other and him as he's walking up and say, "Hi, how are you?" Not knowing what to expect. He replies, "Hi, how y'all doing tonight? My name is Thomas, but y'all can just call me T. I just wanted to stop by and introduce myself. I live in that house right over there." Holds his arm up and flips his hand down to point at a nearby house very effeminately and I just wanted to come meet the neighbors and let y'all know if you need anything ever. Just let me know. Welcome to the neighborhood. Us. Oh hey, thanks for introducing yourself, man. My name is Atlas is my son, and this is my wife. Atlas is also my son. That's very cool of you to walk over here and do that. We've only met our upstairs neighbor so far, and that's because I work with him and we have some beers with him occasionally. Think the neighborhood is nice so far, etc. Small talk. His response to this to me was, "Ooh, you mind if I come and smoke a cigarette with y'all and talk for a second? I'll fill y'all in on all the dirty details of the neighborhood. Nothing too bad really, sorry, it's not dirty, but I'll just tell y'all a little about the other neighbors." Being too polite to say no so far at this point. "Yeah, sure, come on up and have a seat wherever you'd like." So he grabs a chair beside me and sits down. Looking at my wife. "So is you two really married?" "Us, holding hands and wearing our wedding bands? Yeah, working on our first year pretty soon." Thomas, still looking at my wife. MMPH girl, you are asterisk 1 asterisk lucky lady to be married to a man that looks as good as this. I'm not gay or anything but girl. If you didn't say you was married just now, I'd be trying to get him to drink some beers with asterisk right now asterisk. Now looking at me bashfully, hee hee hee. Anyway, I'd say anywhere from once a week to once every few months. Thomas would randomly see us sitting on the porch and come up and make vague flirtatious remarks to me and tell us how wonderful we were and how happy he was that we were neighbors. He eventually came out to us officially, lol, and was so happy that we were still accepting of him even though he was a sinner. He cried and told us we were the biggest blessing he ever had in his life. Many times he was annoying, and we just wanted to sit on our porch alone and enjoy the peace and quiet. But as a gay black man, in a small mainly white, very conservative town, he needed our support more than we needed the peace and quiet those nights. And oddly enough, even though he wasn't an incredibly bright man in a lot of regards, he always seemed to say something that was incredibly insightful and thoughtful to what was going on with us either at work or with distant relatives or something that there is literally no possible way of him knowing about us, and he always said in about himself. He drank too much and smoked too much weed, but he was always just looking to escape the pain of literally everyone being unaccepting of who he was as a person, and him just wanting to be liked. Anyway, there isn't a happy ending or a sad one. My wife and I moved back out west to be near family and finish school after we had our daughter, and that was the last I heard from Thomas. We exchanged phone numbers so that we could stay in touch, but he never contacted me, and the 2 times I tried to contact him he was out of minutes or had maybe gotten a new phone number. I've always just casually said, "Hey, that's kind of personal." When said with a smile, it usually works. Edit/notes. 1. Thanks for the awards. 2. Some people have pointed out that the kind of isn't necessary, and in a sense, they're right. It's just how my speech usually sounds, and I find that the kind of is easier to say as a non-confrontational person.